Good morning, welcome to the Daily News Podcast. Today is August 22nd, 2026.
The top story this morning is the fast-escalating trade fight between the U.S. and Canada. Trade talks broke down. Washington is moving ahead with 50% tariffs on about $20 billion worth of Canadian products, and Ottawa says it will retaliate dollar for dollar. That is a direct threat to supply chains, cross-border manufacturing, food prices, and the broader political relationship between two of the closest economic partners in the world. If neither side blinks, this could turn into a full North American trade shock pretty quickly.
And this is the kind of dispute that starts in policy briefings and ends up in people's grocery bills and factory costs. It's a major one to watch. Staying in world politics, the UK, Canada, and Australia have jointly condemned Israel after it refused to open a criminal investigation into the 2024 killings of World Central Kitchen aid workers in Gaza. The coordinated criticism matters because it raises pressure from close allies, not just longtime critics, and adds to wider scrutiny over accountability during the war. At the same time, reporting on continued settlement expansion in the West Bank is fueling more concern about the long-term shape of the conflict and the shrinking prospects for any negotiated two-state outcome.
That diplomatic pressure has been building for months, and hearing it from allied governments in concert gives it more weight. It also shows how Gaza keeps reshaping Israel's relationships abroad. Right, moving to markets and tech. NVIDIA earnings next week are shaping up as one of the biggest market events on the calendar. Investors are watching demand for AI chips, profit margins, and forward guidance, because NVIDIA still sits at the center of the AI spending boom. On top of that, Microsoft reportedly landed one of its biggest AI customers yet, which is another sign that the cloud giants are fighting hard for enterprise AI budgets. And there's a fresh capital markets twist too. Anthropic may be heading toward an IPO sooner than expected, potentially even before OpenAI, which would give investors a major new pure-play AI stock to chase.
That's a lot riding on one theme, and the theme is still AI. If NVIDIA sneezes next week, a lot of this market could catch a cold. On the software side, AWS just launched Glue 6.0 with a 30% price cut and full Apache Iceberg v3 support. For companies managing big data pipelines, that's a meaningful upgrade: newer Spark, newer Python, lower cost, and better OpenTable support. It's a classic cloud move right now: make the platform cheaper and more capable at the same time, especially as businesses try to keep AI and analytics spending under control.
That's not flashy consumer tech, but it matters a lot in the enterprise stack. Lower prices and cloud data tooling usually get attention fast. In broader tech news, Apple reportedly cut hundreds of jobs across Siri and Vision Pro teams, a sign the company is still reworking both its AI strategy and its mixed reality plans. TikTok, meanwhile, reached a $400 million settlement over a children's privacy lawsuit in the U.S., which is another reminder that youth data protection remains a massive regulatory pressure point. And Apollo confirmed a data breach amid a wider hacking campaign aimed at financial firms, keeping cybersecurity squarely in focus for Wall Street.
That Apple story really stands out because it suggests priorities are shifting under the hood. And the Apollo breach is the latest proof that high-value financial targets are still getting hammered. A quick transportation and safety update now. Waymo has submitted documents to U.S. auto safety regulators as part of a probe into incidents involving children, though much of what was released is heavily redacted. Separately, a U.S. government lab is investigating Chinese LiDAR technology for possible security vulnerabilities. Put those together and you get the same big theme: autonomy is advancing, but trust, safety, and supply chain security are still unresolved.
And those are exactly the issues that can slow rollout, even when the technology itself is improving. The road to self-driving is still as much about regulation as engineering. And to wrap up in culture, Take-Two is subpoenaing Discord and Microsoft as it tries to identify the source of an alleged GTA 6 leak ahead of the game's November release. That's a big legal escalation around one of the most anticipated entertainment launches in years. Also in brief, Netflix set fall dates for a slate of anime releases, including Cyberpunk returning in October and Base Ex Machina and Full Night arriving in November.
Big games, big leaks, big lawyers. That sounds about right for 2026. That's it for this morning's rundown.
Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time on the Daily News Podcast.